Right, so now let's talk about diatonic triads and diatonic seventh chords. Now, very quickly, you should know what a triad is. If you don't, I am going to do some very basic videos on that. So if I don't have them available yet, just send me an email through the Q&A, post in the Q&A section, or submit a support ticket. Anyway, if I take my major scale, here I have my major scale in C, right? And if I build a triad on each note of the scale, right, this is what I get. So I'm building a triad on the note C. I'm building a triad on the note D, right? Building a triad on the note E. Now this is what's important to see here. You notice that I'm building triads only using notes from the scale. Okay, that's very, very important. We'll talk more about that in a second. So I'm only using notes from the C scale. Now it's easy to use the C scale because it's simple. If you're playing white notes, you're in the key of C. If you play any of the black notes, then you're outside of the key of C, right? So I'm just building triads on each note of that major scale. This fingering, remember, I'm just playing this just so you can see what I'm doing, okay? Now, the first chord we call the 1 chord, and then the 2 chord, the 3 chord, the 4 chord, the 5 chord, the 6 chord, the 7 chord, and back to the 1 again. We don't call it the 8 chord, 9, 10, we don't call it that, all right? So the 1 chord you see is a major chord, 2 chord is a minor chord, 3 chord is a minor chord, 4 chord is a major chord, 5 chord is a major chord, 6 chord is a minor chord, 7 chord is a diminished chord, and then we're back to 1 again. Now, that's diatonic triads. To do diatonic 7th chords, all I do is I add on the last note here, right? And I add on the 4th note, I should say. Okay, so I have now the root, the 3rd, the 5th, and now I'm adding on the 7th of the chord. Okay, now this we have 1 major 7, 2 minor 7, 3 minor 7, 4 major 7, 5 dominant 7. Okay, it's the only dominant chord in the key. Right? 6 minor 7, and this we call, some people call it 7 half diminished, but I like to call it 7 minor 7 flat 5. That's minor 7, and that's with the flat 5, and then back to 1 major 7. Okay? Now these diatonic triads and diatonic 7th chords are exactly the same pattern in every key. So let's say I take the key of G. The key of G has 1 F sharp in it. Right? If I build triads in the key of G, there's my 1 chord, my 2 minor chord. That's my 3 chord, right? No, it's not, because I'm using an F natural. I need to use the F sharp. Remember, you need to use the notes from the scale. So there's my 3 minor, 4 major, 5 major, 6 minor, 7 diminished, 1 major again. Let's take a more difficult scale like the key of D flat. Right? D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, D flat. So I start with 1, 2, my 1 chord here. I'm playing the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th of the scale. Then I go to my 2 chord, 3 minor, 4 major, 5 major, 6 minor, oops, sorry, 7 diminished, and then 1 major again. Okay. All right, so that is your diatonic triads and diatonic 7th chords. It is a very good, if you want a very good exercise, I should say, try practicing those diatonic triads and 7th chords in as many different keys as you can. Right? One great thing to do is, whatever song you're playing, let's say you're playing some hymn or whatnot, and you're in the key of E flat. Well, start by playing your E flat major scale, then go through and play all of your diatonic triads, and then also do your diatonic 7th chords as well. Okay. All right. Do the diatonic 7th chords as well. You can see here I'm just arpeggiating them. Okay, or you can play them as block chords. Right? So that's your diatonic 7th and triads.